However, if you want to make this argument, then you've got to consider the other sides as well. So this character that you can see here is a chap called John Calvin. Could depict many people in the history of religious discourse, but I thought he might be an interesting person just to use as an example because he had this idea of predestination, which can seem like quite a cruel and bad for your mental health notion within theology, especially in the modern context, because predestination is the idea that you whether or not you're going to go to hell is really out of your hands because God decided that if you're bound for hell, then he decided that before you were even born. So the only way of knowing whether you're going to go to heaven is how strong your faith in God is. And if you start having moments of doubt, then that can be crippling for you because you're going to start realizing, oh God, I might be going to hell. And it sounds quite cruel, and certainly for a lot of people, it isn't a pleasant way of living. The study that I've cited here isn't actually talking necessarily about Calvinism, but it does mention how uh, there are increased rates of suicide and self-harm among LGBT members of religious groups in North America. So, as you can imagine, lots of Christian sects in particular and especially in evangelical sects where these beliefs are quite strongly held, there is a condemnation of homosexuality. And for those people who believe in God and yet were born being queer, this can be quite a horrible thing, certainly not a reward, and often leads to, well, is more likely to lead to instances of self-harm and suicide. So he starts arguing that belief in God isn't actually a rewarding thing if you're homosexual. And then this goes into other things, so you don't have to just talk about LGBT things. This is a article from the news website Al Jazeera, talking about a case a few years ago where Pakistani police arrested two Christians accused of blasphemy, an incendiary charge in Muslim-majority Pakistan, where even unproven allegations and insulting Islam and its Prophet Muhammad can lead to murder at the hands of vigilantes. Um, and this story is in the context of a larger attack by a Muslim community on a Christian church. So certainly the Christians in this story and the Muslims all believed in God, but there was no reward apparently for the Christians in this life, at least because they were attacked and two of them have been arrested for blasphemy against the Muslim God. For those of you who don't know what blasphemy is essentially being insulting towards a deity. In this case, the deity of Islam, Allah.